Long live the champion!
Hey!
Maybe you ought to squeeze some veins.
By the prophet's wings.
Long live
A
the
witcher.
champion!
All right.
Come now, madame, monsieur.
Greetings, traveler. Have you any needs?
Mind if I glance at what you got? So long.
Good luck on the path.
Curious land, this Tucson.
Each time I come here, I sense I've entered a fairy tale. There's never been a frown that couldn't be turned upside down.
Spores will sprout again. Should destroy the area if I want to get rid of them for good.
Run, Roach.
The more you teach them, the
itself didn't kill him. Bled to death afterwards. What have we got here? No chance this letter wound up here by accident. Interesting. This note plus what I found earlier. Some third parties causing problems at the vineyards. Need to find the spot the letter mentions. Bet I'll find something mighty interesting behind whatever door this key opens. Says Great White Terror on the contract. Could be the same damn beast as in the notice, though.
Hey-ya! Move it! Huh?
I don't know you. Go away.
Yes, Witcher?
Where you rushing to?
Mouth's dry as a stockfish.
The whole of us! At once! Maggot won't freak! Giddy up.
Faster.
The clock strikes 6. Ladies start to work their lips.
Where does a snake keep its paws?
That stench.
Drink! Give me a drink!
Camp's abandoned, but a lot of this damage is recent. Guess I arrived just a little too late. Should look around still. Man, bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile, too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot, though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. You'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it personally.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beasts murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory.
You post those warnings?
Indeed, to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants.
Claim this to be the last surviving basilisk? How do you figure?
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time, see? Before the beech forests were felled.
Mean to suggest a direct correlation between beechwood forest density and basilisk populations?
Indirect, I prefer to contend. Beechwood forests are the chief habitat of roe deer, you see. In turn, a staple of the basilisk diet. When roe deer grew scarce, basilisks made humans their staple food. Enter the witchers. And thus, we've come to this one last specimen. It's
Eocost?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear
Pay the victim's family's compensation? Why?
These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us by Duchess Ademarta. Provided it is not provoked. Yet if it does destroy, if...
Your coffers.
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead. But I do make this unfortunate merchant's family to be...
Who exactly are you? And how'd you develop such an interest in the beast?
Count Borges, happy to be of service. As to the beast, as family legend has it, a female of the species rescued...
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Where's the basilisk nesting? Any idea?
Of course I have an idea. But you don't really expect me to tell you. Those are not toy swords. I know your intentions.
Find it myself, then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints. Mentioned 2 merchants. So I might also look for the other corpse. Basilisk scales are usually thicker, not nearly so fine. Could be more sensitive to fire, this one.
Alas, it is true. Your caste has a terrible fear of fire. She's a highly sensitive creature. Rid your mind of any thought to kill her. You would destroy the last of a species.
Strange. These burn marks. Beast's venom make them? Subspecies must be highly toxic.
It is so indeed. A wound from a sterling basilisk festers long.
Need to brew a potion that'll neutralize that. Strange. These burn marks. Beast's venom make them? Subspecies must be highly toxic. Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Yokoko is so very curious. Strong scents especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the caravan.
Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 scents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose. Scent their goods. They seek to lure the basilisk to destroy their wares. It allows them to demand compensation from their assurers.
Shut up.
Thank you, noble knight. I'd ventured north in search of herbs for a new flavored wine. When suddenly...
Calm down. It's over.
the Bang Diddlers kidnapped me. In hopes of collecting a ransom, I'm sure. But with... but I'm free and safe. Thanks to you.
Need to look around here some more.
I shall be waiting.
Butchers felt it. The urge to drop it all and ride off into the sunset. This one decided to act on the urge. Costs be damned. No one lives there anymore. Might still find some clues, though. Sense perceptible again. Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky.
Poor man. A horrid death.
Bloodstains. Clear as day.
Poor man. A horrid death, truly.
it easy. Something like this. Spore saplings. Takes a degenerate to cultivate something like this. Need to incinerate them before they spew spores and spread. centipede spawning ground. Should destroy it.
Damn it! Watch where you step, fool.
Master Witcher, have you any news?
This vineyard, Belgard, why is it so valuable?
You are not from here, it certainly shows. Before Count Crespi fell prey to the beast, Belgard belonged to him. As a man of wealth and influence, he guided it to immense success. Brought in rare grape varieties, hired skilled workers. I shan't trouble you with unnecessary details. Suffice to say that merging Belgard with another vineyard is a sure recipe for success.
One and the same man caused Coronata's and Vermentino's problems. Got proof. A certain Count Crespi. He's at the root of it all.
What, Crespi? Belgard's erstwhile owner? Why, that's impossible.
Got it all here, in writing.
He did indeed have motive. He knew well his own vineyard could not survive if Vermentino and Coronata were to join forces.
Probably why he incited the feud. Pulled it off, too, mostly. Just failed to bring his plan to completion when the beast got him.
Incredible. You mean to say it wasn't Liam?
And I was certain my troubles were Matilda's doing.
In light of new evidence, the most just resolution would be for both injured parties to share oversight of Belgard.
Wait just a minute. Do you mean to suggest we're to cooperate?
It's the optimal solution, yes. In terms of the health of the enterprise as well.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do believe he's right. Perhaps it is time to bury the hatchet.
3 vineyards are more than one. There's much to be gained. So be it.
That's not all. The troubles at your vineyards? Solved them. You can go back to operating normally now.
Splendid news. I'm relieved to see you hired a professional, especially one whose aid might still prove invaluable.
Witcher, come with us, please. Something...
All right, let's go.
My desire for Belgard to pass into capable hands was no idle whim. For the vineyard, I've been told of workers dying on their rounds, monsters prowling about. Before anyone can call this home, they will have to deal with these, inconveniences. That is the minister's wish.
More work for me, I guess.
If you're willing.
I can help, sure, but I won't work for free.
Fine. We have a deal.
More or less already agreed, I guess.
That's a weight off my chest, I must say. Your reward shall be fair, I promise.
I'll get to work. Faster.
Drops of wine, and lo and behold, I see better.
I'll finally be able to drink in peace. And I'll drink to your health. dripping down my bum furrow.
Hello, hello. Some evils afoot.
Whoa there, sir. I guess those swords on your back aren't there as festoons. Maybe you could help me?
Maybe. Depends.
Well, there's a cave that to my mind would be splendid for aging wine. Not over dry and none too moist.
But?
Well, damn thing's full of noise. The arse-clenching sort. Clinkety, bangety, knockety kind. Sent McClark in to sea, been 2 days. And he's not back. I reckon it's aught to do with the elven ruins. Blah. That about the cave. So, lend us a hand, will you?
Could help, provided you can pay.
Yes, we're almost there. Agreed.
Fine. I'll have a look in the cave, see what lurks there.
Not even a draft horse will talk without some carrot.
Place of power. Should draw from it.
Thank you, sir. Were it not for you, well, those bandits were not pulling pranks. I could pound some new steel for you in gratitude, but I must first return to my workshop in Belgard.
Drop by when I'm in the area. Scholars. Should have guessed the passages inside were blocked for a reason. Good thing they didn't try to go in there without a witcher. Tended to Belgard's problems. Vineyard should be in as good a shape as ever.
Splendid. And thus, officially, by the power vested in me, I grant you title to the Belgard Vineyard, and trust that you shall make good use of its grounds and resources.
Excellent. I can already smell the grapes ripening into sun.
We shan't forget what you did for us. Here, your pay.
But that's not all. You must come back and see us shortly. We've a surprise in store for you.
I'll do that. Farewell.
The book of lust is
Master Witcher! The debt I owe I can never hope to repay, not in all my life. First, you ripped me from the Hansa's clutches. Now...
What were you doing in the Caraberta?
Ever since the Count died. Great deal of scrap to be had.
A rational man. Show me what you have. See ya.
Hey! When the beast came for such a pain,
A Witcher.
the
We
knight
could
dropped
use one
his
around
sword
here.
and tried to
Full
run,
time.
but with all that armor, he didn't get far.
Long live Toussaint!
My heart's about to burst from a surfeit of beauty.
Giddy up.
Ah!
Move it!
Help us!
Someone! Please! Help!
Help!
What's this about?
Monsters! Monsters there! In the cave!
We managed to flee, but Hugo remains inside!
Hugo?
Our brother! He's still in there, inside! Help us find him! We'll pay you for your toil.
You post that notice about an escort?
Yes, we did. And not without cause.
Fools we were. We'd have done better to show patience. Wait!
Noticed what attacked you?
There was no time! We ran for...
So, monsters crawl out of the ground? Why do you even go in there?
We...
By the hair on my chinny chin, will you go in after him or not?
I could look into...
How much would you take?
A reasonable price.
Fine. I'll look for him. You two stay out here. Blood trail. Could be Hugo's wounded. Fresh blood on the blade. Weapon was Hugo's, maybe. Place of power. Should draw from it. Warm and damp. Kikimores prefer cooler environments. Probably why they keep their distance. Damn, water's hot. Get burned if I don't watch it. Could use some protection. Maybe quite all work. Hugo? Your brother sent me.
Ja! Dizzards, scoundrels, tartmongers! They attacked me, but I fended them off. Now, they sent a brigand to finish the job.
Not a brigand. I'm a witcher. And your brothers sent me to help you.
No. I refuse to believe they had a sudden change of heart. They tried to kill me, then sent help? I sense the stench of treachery a mile off.
Whoa, slow down. What's this about?
I'm Hugo Monar. My father, Victor Monar, you may have heard of. A cognac distiller he was, famed for it. Before he passed, my brothers and I would quarrel over who would inherit the family business. So, father decided he would force us to work together. He broke his still down into its parts. 3 of them he hid, telling each of us the location of one. When my brothers learned my part, the last, was hidden in here, they decided they did not need me anymore. They decided to cut me out of the business. Literally. We argued, fought. The noise must have woken the beasts. My brothers ran for the mouth, while I ran deeper in.
So you came here to find a piece of a still? Mean this thing?
Yes! Where did you find it?
Bottom of the pool of a hot spring. Really hit it well, your father.
Your pay. It is not much, I know. But I promise you good prices. The best, once the tavern is open again.
Hold you to that. Now let's go. Brothers are probably getting antsy.
Wait, see there? My brothers. They've rounded up some thugs. They mean to attack me.
We don't know that.
Would you try to tell me it's a coincidence? That they return with an armed band? They've come for the last part of the still. Please, you may...
Kill your brothers? You want that?
Well, perhaps not them, but the other...
Not about to start cutting folk down because of a family squabble about some spare bit of machinery. We're going over there, and you're gonna settle this. Talk it out.
But, should they attack, you will protect me, will you not?
If they attack, unprovoked. Let's go.
Hugo! Are you well?
We were worried!
Why do I doubt this?
Listen, while you were in there, we realized this tiff is senseless, idiotic. You might have been harmed, gravely, and that's something we could never live down.
Lucian is right. We must bury this hatchet, work together as father wished it.
Claimed to come in peace. But then who are these men?
Hunters, who had made camp nearby. They spotted us and asked if we had no need for their aid.
You went in, we're gone along.
All right, glad to see you've made up. Now I really need to get back to my own affairs.
Naturally. Your payment.
We thank you for your help. Should you ever find yourself near the Clever Clogs, you must stop in. Superb cognac.
Will do. So long.
mountains out of molehills, Vilmar. That will be better than fine.
I must insist, Count. You'll be much the safer with us at your side.
Boulder Dash.
Count, if I may, I believe Vilmar's in the right.
Hey, over here,
They paid me
please!
to do. That's it.
Heard you calling. Wanted to talk?
I did, for we're neck-deep in trouble. Of the spider kind.
Need a maid with a broom, not a witcher.
You fail to understand. These are huge. The size of pigs or dogs. Black and hairy, spewing webs.
Not talking about spiders then. Talking about arachnomorphs.
Call them what you will. You must...
First things first. Need to talk about my reward.
Not far now. We find ourselves a hair from agreeing. I knew we would agree terms.
Arachnomorphs don't look much like bunnies, but they sure breed like them. Best nip the problem in the bud. I'll look into it.
Not even a draft horse will...
Lads, I find your concern touching, I do. Yet I've long awaited this day. So, you must forgive me, but I shall go through with it as planned. Ah, it seems my guide has arrived.
Greetings.
Greetings to you, White Wolf. I presume you saw my notice? Foolish question. You're here, thus you must have seen it. Forgive me, I should introduce myself. Count Belladal, a great admirer of your deeds.
Thanks. Not something we witchers hear often.
But Count, sir, do you mean to go off with just this witcher? A right hardy fellow he is, no ponce, I'm sure. But your expedition's too risky on the whole. And not taking us with you's, pardon my saying it, right daft.
You exaggerate, Vilmar. I believe I can manage to survive half a day without someone there to wipe me arse in my stead. My guards lament, Witcher, but you must forgive them. Now, to get down to brass tacks. As you've no doubt gleaned from the notice, I've a rather extraordinary proposition for you. I'm a lover, Witcher, of nature. A devotee of the wild. And Toussaint is home to several species not encountered elsewhere. I'd like you to accompany me on an expedition whose aim is to... preserve them. Ah, yes. Naturally, you'll protect me should the need arise. My ever-vigilant guards, see, will report any reckless behaviour to my wife if I get so much as a scratch. And then woe will be me.
Count Belladal?
Well, that was the very reason for...
Really need a witcher to, partake? Got guards of your own. Take them, save some coin.
I could, surely.
Ah, so this is about a...
There's also Clarissa, who...
Vilmar, please.
Who what?
My daughter. But,
Need some details before I can say anything. Where are we going? What am I supposed to do exactly?
in the roundest terms...
Preserve?
Of this device, see? A paris...
A paracesta what?
It's like a movable megascope. Capture...
So, you want me with you, looking at animals and flowers and...
Well, that's more or less what it amounts to, yes. Well, and, should any...
Pretty unusual contract.
I couldn't agree more.
Don't mind if we actually talk about...
Why ever would I? Sublime! We've a deal!
Doesn't seem hard. Big
Sublime. In that case... Before coming here, I dispatched
Good thinking. It'll save us some time.
I'm afraid we'd do a... In the meantime... Well, the wide and wild world beckons.
Those noises again. I couldn't sleep a wink.
Seems I got the map, so I'll lead.
Not still to bust your bum.
Wouldn't rather be out here with those guards of yours?
You jest. It's deliverance to emerge from under their wings. Believe me, they're overprotective. Oppressively so. I wish to admire the wildlife. Preserve it. Not watch them kill it in a fit of misguided fear for my life.
What if the wildlife attacks us?
Then we shall have no other recourse. I do not wish to be something supper for you, but as long as they remain calm, we've no need to provoke them. It's of the utmost importance to me, in fact.
Map says there should be panthers around here. Stay close. Keep your eyes peeled.
I've but one request, Witcher. Avoid bloodshed, if at all possible. Ah! Geralt! Save me!
Hear that? Panthers.
Frankly, I did not hear a thing. Clearly, your senses are far more acute than mine. I must rely on them.
Damn poachers. Snares. Looks like they were hoping for a bear. Panther got caught instead.
Look, a cub. Will you help the mother?
Give it a shot. Gotta calm her first. Likely to lunge at us otherwise.
Brilliant, brilliant. You've brilliant. You freed. Folk call witches heartless. This will put the light to that. Oh my! I failed to warn you. Apologies. The Parasticimac has an added lantern. You must look away or it'll blind you.
Parasticimacs upset the animals. Better get out of here.
Cannot abide poaching. I'm content you share my love for animals.
Got pretty broad interests for a man of the city.
I suppose I dabble in my share of things. Wine, nature, painting. I imagine the life of a witcher must be rather more monotonous. With all due respect.
It is. Never boring, though.
I, for one, cannot fathom only ever consorting with the same creatures, day in and day out.
Got a wife?
Yes. What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing. Just asking.
It's those...
Centipedes. Giant. Underground tunnel burrowers. Make a distinct sound. We can use that to track them. Sounds loud and clear here. Must be near the nest. We're here.
Well, this vantage point's no good. I shan't capture a good image from here.
All right, wait. We'll find you a better spot that's safe, too. Tread lightly. Giant centipedes sense the softest sounds, the lightest vibrations. You wake one up, it wakes up angry. How about here?
I don't know. Isn't it a bit close?
Right. We'll find another spot. Seems like a safe spot.
Safe, perhaps. But it offers no view whatsoever.
Fine. We'll keep looking. Here, maybe. Distance seems right. Light's not bad either.
Yes, this will work perfectly. Can you lure them out?
Give me a minute. Need to think. Vibrations. Gotta send some through the ground. I'll try tossing a bomb or casting a sign. And you watch out. Don't get any closer.
Exactly what I want. Look, disturb. Excellent day for capture. Thank you. Truly magnificent that was. We can move on now. Exhilarating. Positively exhilarating. Thank you. I've one more request. Local peacocks performing their mating ritual. I'd love to see that. Apparently, a flock dwells not far from here.
We can go. Just don't count on peeping at them while they mate. Season ended a month back.
Oh, that's terrible. I so wish to capture their splendorous tails in full bloom.
What did you have in mind?
My thoughts were more along the lines of...
Yeah, guess I can try.
Splendid. Consider me contented. I can't...
All right. Let's go find some peacocks. I was wondering, why peacocks?
My daughter is rather fond of them. There will be a treat for her.
close. Eyes in the back of your head. A feather from the rump, coated in suet. Cock shed it recently and the suet's got a distinct scent. Ought to be able to track the flock.
A witcher in action. What a treat to watch.
Hear that? They're calling to each other.
Fabulous. We're getting close. Oh, that's lovely. Now, if they could just splay the tails.
See what I can do. Find a good spot.
Ready? Use your magic, Witcher! Oh, this'll be a masterpiece. Smile, please.
Giant centipedes. Damn it.
Where did they come from?
Must have followed us. Get back.
Ah! Get it!
All over now.
That was tense. I believe I've had my fill of excitement for today. What a wonderful adventure.
Get everything you wanted?
Yes.
In that case, time to get back to your camp. Returning your lord to you, safe and sound.
You've our gratitude, Master.
You see, lads, there was nothing to fear.
Thank you, Witcher, for looking after our day count. Seems the jaunt did 'em wonders. Breathed some new life into 'em.
Wait here a moment, Geralt. I have to fetch my coin pouch. Pay my dues.
New life? He was feeling down?
Made no mention, did he? 10 years back, his last, Clarissa's her name, took a spill off her horse. Been bedridden ever since. Cannot walk of her own. She'd been the life of the house before the calamity. A merry sprite what filled every corner with joy. Count would oft take her out on trips. She loved animals too. Excursions he makes now. or rather, paintings he brings home. They's our only window on the wider world.
Sorry to make you wait. I was dead chuffed to be able to observe you in action. To confirm for myself there that the tales about you were not exaggerated in the slightest. You showed discipline, reliability, responsibility. I dare say you'd make the ideal business associate. It's a shame you've no interest in the wine trade.
One day, maybe.
Your reward. Use it well.
Thanks.
I've one other matter I wish to broach. In a few days' time, I shall exhibit my work for some friends, my coterie, so to speak. Would you come by?
Why not, if I'm in the area?
Splendid. In that case, I shall see you at my lodgings.
I'll be by. See you.
That's it, Roach.
Guesses, champion. Have your chit-chat with someone else. Guesses, champion.
All is in order. Reginald Aubrey has returned.
Nice tune.
Long live her grace! 3 cheers for Toussaint!
Greetings. What do you have on offer?
Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
This is Beauclair, and everything's peachy.
Gods, my knees ache something horrible.
Let's go. Move it.
Ah.
Hey, Blondie, who blows your porridge when the bears are out to forage?
So nice to see you again.
Show me what you're selling. Should be going. Farewell.
Can you believe the tidings from... Dropped from the sky in broad daylight. It's a miracle they weren't more dead.
I heard about that.
Aim to hop on a horse after making merry.
They say they don't just sit there at the same time.
No big guns. Drooping dangers.
Leave me in peace, Witcher.
Its picturesque meadows, untouched woodlands. It's wonderful to meet the subject of the Baron's new cycle.
Oh!
Such
Whoa,
a...
excuse you.
Enjoy the exhibit. Ah!
Yes, a face no ointment could help.
Both male and female Beauclair centipedes are formidable predators. The bees prefer to hunt in packs, yet the author of this extraordinary work was able to capture a lone specimen preparing to attack. Cast your eye on the hunter, who, though fully aware of the danger, wears a look of cold determination on his face as he awaits the optimal moment to strike.
Ah, Geralt, you're here. Wonderful. Come, please.
I'm delighted to see you.
I've a small gift for you, and I shan't let you refuse. You are free to sell it, of course, though I would be honoured were you to hang it in your home.
Thanks. Talked to your guards back at the camp. Told me about Clarissa. Sorry to hear about her accident.
Thank you. Kind words that mean a great deal to me.
How's Clarissa these days? Probably can't wait for you to get back.
To get her gifts, you mean? I've dispatched 2 already. She'll not need to wait for my return. En route home, I mean to pass through Dol Blathan. They say one can see Sylvans there.
Yeah, actually happen to know one. Name's Torquay. He can be mean, but for the right fee, he'll do anything you ask.
Splendid. I thank you for the hint.
Tell him I send my regards. Good crowd. You got a lot of friends. All of them seem to be fawning over your paintings, too.
Oh, when you have as much coin as I do, friends buzz around like flies on fresh meat. And they praise you to high heavens for each trip, burp and sneeze. Not all are lying sycophants, that's not what I mean. Just most, unfortunately.
Why?
I'm a man of enterprise.
Besides?
At times, I'll exhibit a completely failed painting. Just naturally, the more intent someone is to get into my...
Nice meeting you. So long now. Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here. Kiki, more eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. That's some stench. Shit. Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out, but Bruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen, and the ornamentation.
It comes from our home. where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Detlef. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Detlef? You're both higher vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Detlef, but the very act of contacting this being, well, an exercise as perilous to me as it would.
Covenarius spent half his life proving it.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detlef's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask you directly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. seeing I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now. Gotta ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well-founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Got a new life, new body. That give you a new start? Blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detlef recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure to...
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You're right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular.
Come on, search your memory.
I believe it
Textbook definition.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to... What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct. And a curse. In one place. That a coincidence? Or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to...
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted...
I sincerely doubt it.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in... spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary gland.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
That's it. Bandages.
What's that about?
The dressings, bandages, where did I put them?
Forget it. Bandages won't do him any good.
What? Oh, but he breathed still a moment ago.
Mm-hmm. Breathed his last then. Bled to death.
Gods.
What happened here exactly?
I was rolling through.
Pretty admirable stopping to help a stranger.
Truthfully, when I saw him, I considered it might be an...
Decent enough in many other places, believe me. Before you go on, clean your hands thoroughly and burn your shirt. Might also want to rub some thyme on your body to be sure. The smell of blood might attract ghouls otherwise.
Who might you be, precisely?
A witcher.
Oh. Do you
See what we have here. Legs broken, but cause of death's the wound. Small but deep, edges unfrayed. Either a thrust weapon or a thick claw. Maybe a wyvern's. Tough to say, and... breastplate's unusual. Dented. It's got a patina.
An antiquity, I believe. I deal in these things, so... what's puzzling is... why did he done it?
Not likely to learn that from him. Now to figure out where he came from. From that house, I'm assuming. I'd need to investigate. Got some work to do. So long.
Wait, I will come with you.
So be it. But stay close, keep it down, and don't touch a thing. Trail leads to the house on the hill.
Which stands silent as a grave.
Must have been here he broke his legs. Fell while climbing over the wall. Trying to leave the property, probably, after he didn't manage to open the gate. Gate's locked from the inside. Clearly been jostled, though. Something tried to get out.
The very thought sends a cold wind down my back.
Damn it.
Good gods!
What the hell's this? Setting for a banquet?
It seems so. What's your suspicion? Did none survive? Gods!
Servant. Stabbed to death. Over a dozen blows with a sharp object. Some post-mortem.
I cannot believe this is the work of a man. It was a monster, to be sure.
Silver tableware. Elven engravings. Torso punctured with great force. Blow pierced hardened steel. Man on the high road. Breastplate was identical. Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices.
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Throats massacred. One mighty blow. Shield along sides old and dented. Swords ceremonial. And Shay handiwork clearly. Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices.
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices.
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices.
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Burn marks. Something catch fire? Explode? Strong stench. Multiple wounds on the body. All puncture wounds, but hard to tell what caused them. Victim's human, but the attire's elven.
Are you certain? How did he come by it? We've so few non-humans in Tucson.
Fled, then dropped to the ground to douse the flames. Didn't manage. Burnt smells growing fainter. Might have been another luckier soul managed to flee. Doublet scorched. Wriggled out of it, tossed it, then ran on.
Perhaps there's no one inside after...
I know you're in there. Breathing's loud and clear. Open up. We mean you no harm.
They remain there?
Listen, I'm a witcher. I'm here to help you. But if that's gonna happen, you gotta answer some questions first. You mentioned them. Who do you mean?
Those, I don't know what they were. Spirits. It all occurred of a sudden. We were staging a scene. The event. I broke in. They pounded on the door.
Who are you exactly?
Durant Fosher Plum. We meet here annually to...
So while reenacting a scene from the past, somehow...
What? What now?
Best thing? You gotta do it again, of course.
Are you mad?
No, don't want it to kill anyone. Precisely why I gotta do my job. Summon it again.
It was a great, momentous event. The surrender of two...
Damn it. Can't risk. Can't expose you to danger.
Master? If what you say is truth, then...
Gods have us in their care.
Let's get to work. One last thing, though. My pay. Don't work for free, you know.
Understood. Just keep... I will stand, or rather, sit in for King Ludovic, upon the elfin throne, while you, Witcher, will play the Enche ruler. We must don the costumes. All must be just right.
Divethef, the elfin king, hosted Ludovic in his own palace. Laid at Ludovic's feet a loaf of binnen and elfin bread, thus granting humans rule over seat-yielding lands.
filled the ornate ceremonial bowls with elven wine. We know it, the sweetest blood of the land that had been torn from me. At long last, the Elfin King grasped his sword and shield, thus symbolically passing command of his armies to humans. At long last, the Elfin King grasped his sword and shield, thus symbolically passing command of his armies to humans. Elfin King, erect in his pride, Ludovic then spake.
I accept your allegiance and shall return in 1 year's time to...
Ah! Look! Look! The statues!
Impossible! God's mother!
Not good.
The sculptures, they came alive. By what witchcraft?
Dunno. Specialize in killing monsters. Reviving them, not so much.
I may not... This Devethef was to pay tribute to humans, producing statues of this sort each year. Yet, he did so but once, for it's fortunate he did too, as Devethef had planned Ludovic's downfall, for he sculpted not statue.
Typical. Treachery.
You're no better. Elves were just defending their territory.
You?
Yeah, in a way. Just ashamed to have to admit it sometimes.
Your words? They're wrong, Witcher.
Farewell.
Run, Roach.
That stench. Guests. Regis' raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place. Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm. A message. Trying to tell me something. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Girl realized she was changing into a monster, recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have traced a rich man's table. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Skeletons. Doubt they came here. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It makes sense. Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him. Broken neck. Indentation in the skull's lateral surface. Smacked in the head with something heavy. Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Spoon, pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Table set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. Spoon, pretty ordinary, maybe a little old. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. We just need some brew. I'm afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. Thousands of them here. White's been a collector for years. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon, pretty ordinary, maybe a little old.
Not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it. Tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
of spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons. Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness. Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find given its stench. Damn it. Easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But, most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry. She will be in good hands here.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
I thank you. So tasty. Oh, so good.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it. as our codex commands. Raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it, but they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but, alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True. But I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Tesha Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Tesha Mudna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
See no reason to dawdle. Tesha Mudna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. 1 drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesha Mudna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Sure you know what you're...
I can only hope I do.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
an ancient vampire dungeon.
I feel honored. A man...
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout, fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world to this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care? This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil. Here, death hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beggars have breathed their last here.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us of where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlove's. We both remained in this part of the world.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Dead. Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Dead. Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time. Deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepare... Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. Meat's stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
This'll hold. Doesn't look like anything special.
I told you. Kagmar thrashed about inside it for over 2 centuries. Appearances can be deceiving.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what? Would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, God. You won't be able to. We must forge through this, that is all.
I smell blood.
Hold on, I'll let you out.
Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Deadlaw some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would...
I told you. The pain is...
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment. You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
What?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Dettlaff had made friends with him, still killed him, and chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse, cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Dettlaff I know. See anything else?
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to...
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really.
Clearly the situation provoked such emotions in Dettlaff. Killing someone who's grown dear to us. Did you see anything else?
There was something.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere...
Perhaps we should have a chat.
It's our only lead.
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet...
That's fair.